and welcome to the Enchantress Society with Tia Johnson, a place where you get to be you, where you get to unlock your magic in a sacred and judgment-free zone. The Enchantress Society is your witchy sisterhood of enchanting women who guides and supports you along your spiritual journey from the mundane to the magical. I invite you to sit for a spell as I interview guests and spill the spiritual tea on how we can create the magical life we deserve. Welcome back, Enchantresses. I have an amazing guest today who I cannot wait to introduce you to. She is a game changer, and we are going to be discussing getting your shift together with Jamie Keene, aka the Slay Coach, aka my business coach. Can you tell I'm giddy? She's passionate about helping creatives, coaches, course creators, and slady bosses to scale their business to six figures, blow the fuck up online, and create a tribe who are hashtag obsessed with them using a combination of mindset, spirituality, and business strategy. Jamie started her $1 million empire as a beauty school dropout, tens of thousands of dollars in debt, even a $1 million empire running bad bitches have to start somewhere. Jamie also hosts online programs and her upcoming event, Summit of Slay. You can connect with her at theslaycoach.com, and no worries because it will be in the description of this episode. Jamie, welcome.
Yay! I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for that wonderful introduction.
You're most welcome. It's straight from your website.
Right? I was like, oh, did we write that? That's so good.
Oh yeah, right from the website.
So was.
Right? Yeah, exactly. And one thing I love, as the listeners I know have already picked up, is your energy. And this event that you have coming up, the 4-day, and I think of this as a movement, not just a 4-day event, but it's for me, I feel like it's a movement. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to talk about the 4 simple shifts that you have to accelerate to 6 figures in record time. And because I know my business has changed in the few months that we've been working together. So one, I want to talk about your energy before we dive into the 4 simple shifts. Where do you get your energy from?
Girl, God, the universe, spirit. Well, I mean, I wasn't always like this. I think energy it cannot be created or destroyed. Humans, we have to look at ourselves. Once I learned that my body and my thoughts were like a power plant, that I didn't just have a limited amount of energy, that I could create my own energy. When I learned that I had energy inside of me that could be tapped into, that came from a higher place, it's like I felt like I was generating it from another source. So, and that was energy that, and obviously I'm a human, I have my moments, I have downtime, I have time where I'm not okay, I have time where I'm sad and anxious and all the things. But once I learned that I could generate energy, channeling it from my higher source through thought work, mindset work, and building up my own personal beliefs and confidence, which I thought you were just born with it. I thought you just had confidence, or you didn't. Or that meant you were an extrovert or an introvert. And neither of those things are really true. And I was always an extrovert, but I was always super insecure. I had a lot of trauma. I was made fun of a lot. I was a medical kid who went to the doctor all the time. I had scoliosis. I had surgeries. I just had a lot of trauma from getting a stereotype of growing up in a lower income part of town and not choosing not to go to college. That meant that I was a loser. And then getting knocked up at 19, that also meant that I was a loser. And so I had these big hits on my confidence, right? And so when I learned about self-help, personal development, spirituality, because I was borderline atheist, I was agnostic. And now I I call spirit God. I use them interchangeably, the universe, God, whatever you want to call your source of power. I don't subscribe to any specific religion, but I was like leaving the Catholic Church really disenchanted from anything spiritual or God related, because I thought if you said God, that meant Jesus. And I think Jesus is so dope. Like, Jesus is cool as fuck. Like, I'm cool with Jesus. But like, I thought once I learned there were other ways to like tap into source, and learning about my own power sources. And I was like, whoa, this is a fucking game changer. And I stopped creating. Once I learned that, I started diving into self-help books, looking for mentorship in any place that I could find it. I've had a mentor consistently for 6.5 years now. So in some capacity, some way, shape, or form, for 6.5 years, I've had some type of business mentor. And so finding that mentorship of someone who believes in you, who holds you accountable, who has gone first, who can show you the way a little bit, like help you carve the path out for yourself. But if you look at pictures from me 6 years ago, you're like, who the fuck is this bitch? That is not the same girl that I see on the internet today. Like, whole different person. You'll see me at 28 years old, dressed up like a mom of 2, working a corporate job with a buttoned up polo and short blonde hair and glasses, because I thought I needed to look more professional in my corporate job. So like, I was not living my truest me then. So if any of these shifts can happen for me, they can happen for you. So my energy really is healing my trauma, working on self first, like putting myself first, for the first time, because I'd never really done that. And then just understanding, like really taking like a scientific approach to understanding energy. So Dr. Joe Dispenza's books, really understanding how energy works, how your thoughts are created, how you can recreate new thoughts in order to tap into extra energy from source. And just learning how the mind works really was a game changer for me.
That is so beautiful and powerful and relatable. Yeah, because we experience so much, and a lot of times we don't know how to heal. Like, what's the path for that? And also, confidence is a huge issue. Is okay, I healed, now what? Or I'm in the process of healing. Okay, what does that mean, and how can I still achieve my goals? Because now it looks like you're further and further and further behind, but that's not true. It's just a matter of strategies. And that's one thing that I love about what you do, is that you focus a lot on framework, mindset work. And I didn't realize that that was something that I was tapping into, but didn't understand it and fully really dive into that. And the push you gave me to like, girl, if you don't go out there and, promote yourself more. And I just love how you said that you just, you put yourself first. That is just so powerful.
Because not putting yourself first is a trauma response.
Wow. I've never heard anyone say that. It's a trauma response. How about that?
It is, because if no one ever put you first, then you learn that you didn't matter. So whether your parents had too many jobs or too many kids or whatever, if like whatever happened growing up, or maybe a past life, or whatever reason you got shit, we all have shit, right? Whatever reason that you have shit, if no one ever showed you how to put yourself first, or maybe you were the caretaker in your family and everyone else around you was putting themselves first, so you had to prioritize other people because they let you know that, hey, look, you got to put me first, then you never put yourself first. And if you're always surrounding yourself with people who never allow you your own boundaries to put yourself first, then you'll never prioritize your own personal growth. And I don't believe we can fully love or be of service to anyone until we have learned how to truly accept ourselves. And I don't mean like, oh, just love yourself, like kumbaya. No, I mean like truly accept the divine and the human together. Because I believe that we're supposed to have a human experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't believe it's meant to be easy for humans. I believe we're here to learn lessons, and it's meant to be the connection, bridging the gap between our spiritual self and our physical self in this body and in this world right now. And tapping into that, both sides of that, is why I teach mindset, spirituality, and business strategy, because I believe, why me? Why did I grow so fast? It was tapping into all of the above. I was never the one that just taught manifestation or just taught business strategy, because even though everyone tells you to niche, micro niche, yes, I do agree with that. It is a very quick way to grow. I could have grown even faster if I probably just picked one thing that I taught and then done the other stuff behind the scenes, but I felt out of integrity. I was like, no, I got to teach them the whole damn package. I want to be the whole damn package for you.
Mm-hmm.
So it really all matters, but I like to say that, like, growing your online presence or your business, or even getting ahead in your corporate job, involves some type of strategy to get to that goal. And that is a very humanistic thing. It's very 3-dimensional. It's heavy. Sometimes it weighs people down when they overthink too much on what to do. So simplifying the to-do, making a simple roadmap for yourself to scale. And I'll talk about the shifts, the scalability shifts that really shifted for me, not in the corporate world, but in my business, was really understanding that all of that matters. And so that's why the 4 shifts incorporate all. So part 1 of the shifts are focusing on the most scalable thing that you can do. The most scalable thing in your skills, gifts that you can monetize. So, like, if Tia decides to take a one-on-one client, can you sit on the phone all day with everybody and their mother and give them a one-on-one call?
Absolutely not.
Like, no, I'm not trying to build entrepreneurs out there who are creating new 9-to-5s for themselves. Like, I don't want to wake up early. That's why I don't work for anyone else. Like, I am unemployable, Tia. I am unemployable. I am the worst employee.
Just put an X over it. No, thank you.
Don't hire me. Don't want to do that. You tell me to do something, I'm going to do the opposite. I don't want to be told what to do. I don't want to be there when you want me there. I don't like obligation, except for to my family and my really close friends. But, like,
exactly, yeah.
I crave freedom and autonomy. So our brand values really represent that. So I would be out of integrity to teach people to grow this high ticket coaching practice and spend their whole week on the phone. I know coaches out there, Tia, legit, like, yeah, they're making good money, but at what cost? What cost? You see them with their fancy bags or their crystals that cost $1,000, that they're living inside a giant purple amethyst or some shit. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Those big
that's why I'm cracking up. So, yes,
I live inside it. It costs $16,000.
I mind it myself,
right? So, like that's fine if that is what they want, but, like, I had to create a path for what I believed was right for myself and for my people. And I say my people, meaning the people that have the same values as I have, which our values are autonomy, freedom, time freedom, and building generational wealth for people. And it happens and it can happen quickly, but you have to be able to focus. So focusing in on the most profitable thing in your product suite that is going to solve a problem for people, that people are going to get great results with, that is going to deliver value so that they'll tell their fucking friends. Because if people don't like your product, they're not going to tell their friends. They're not going to be like, oh my God. They're not at the end of the program or the course or the product or the service. Be like, oh, that helped me so much. If they're not like, oh, that helped me so much, they're going to be like, okay, cool, thanks. They're not going to tell their friends. Like, we got to create something. And this might take some time. This is the hardest part, is finding that unique gift and skill set and that unique problem And it involves talking to your people, your audience, seeing what they need help with that also matches up with your skill set and passions. And that's shift one. So really finding your moneymaker is that scalable product that isn't going to require you to be on the phone all day. Or like me, in my case, is when I first started, I was running my business in a way that I saw it being done by other people. So I was doing all these in-person private VIP days. I was flying all over the world, spending a ton of money on clients all the time. So yeah, they were paying me a ton of money, but I wasn't profiting off of it because I was turning around and creating these luxury experiences for people. When I'm like, that doesn't really get them results. It gets them a quick burst, a high of feeling like I had a high vibe day, but that lasts a day. Yeah. And so what? Then what? So like that wasn't for me. So I create luxury experiences now in a group setting that is going to be lasting and sustainable, where people feel really valued and they have a community and a really high quality business education. And then shift two was really layering an income plan and diversifying the way that you receive money. So like if you have a 9-to-5, that's an income stream. If you have a course, that could be another asset. It's a digital asset that makes you money. And if you buy a rental property, a real estate property, start an Airbnb business, like hell, this RV we just bought, I could turn that into an asset, put it on RV share and rent it out for $250 a night. So I could turn that into a money making asset for me. And so understanding how to leverage your assets, your gifts, and use that for increasing value in the world, because your monetary result is going to be a reflection of the value that you're able to put out into the world. And so I know this sounds like harsh, but if people don't find your product valuable, they're not going to there's not going to be a good exchange there. They're not going to buy it. It's not going to sell. It's going to be hard to sell if it doesn't have a really great transformation or a desire that, oh, I want this. Like maybe it's a membership where you pull cards because they really love showing up to your lives. Or maybe you turn your free lives into a paid membership where you pull cards for people every day or every other day or once a week or whatever. Like there's just a million ways to create value. There's a trillion ways to create value in the world, but finding out, building one, so I call it the layering income plan, building out one asset at a time that you can take payment plans instead of paid in full so that you can get paid over 6 months instead of one time. But when you do that for a year and you've just launched 3 different things over the course of the year that all have 6 to 12 month payment plans, guess what? You don't have to worry about money the rest of the year because you're getting paid for the next year. Does that make sense?
Yeah, mind blown. When you talked about that, I just thought to myself, holy shit, why aren't more people talking about this? That makes so much sense because it's been a push for so long to get the money.
Get that quick money.
Yeah. Have all these extra bonuses to get them to pay in full. And then you came along and you just pretty much said, yeah, forget all that. Why not have payments over several months and then you're in the flow of money and you don't have to work as hard for it. I'm like, oh my gosh, you just blew my mind.
Yep. So I'm going to dive deeper on that subject because I have more tips that are going to blow your mind on that as to why payment plans. So sign up for the training that starts on Monday. And then part 3, the third shift, is the future, really understanding the future of attraction marketing. Because as times grow and shift and change, like if you remember 5 years ago, how easy it was to blow up on Instagram if you just had a pretty grid. You know what I mean? Like now Instagram comes out and says, all right, look, we're a video platform now. Fuck your grid. They're coming out saying, look, you have to create video. But they're also coming out saying, hey, we're going to pay you for those videos. But figuring out the pivot before everyone else does. So if you can be in the top 10 to 20% of the people that figure it out, what the next thing is, and it doesn't mean always you're going to be like, Jamie, but do I have to hop from thing to thing? There's always going to be a new trend. There's always going to be a new trend. There's always going to be a new trend. But what will stay consistent is not going to be the medium of which you share content. Like that's always going to change. It's going to be photos are going to be cool. And then it's going to be videos. And then guess what? People are going to get tired of videos. And then guess what? It's going to go back to pictures again. They're going to want to start reading long form blogs again. And like, it's always just when you think about like bell bottoms, like these baggy ass Jinko jeans. Come on. It's like 92 all over again. So like fashion is recycled, marketing trends are recycled, but what does not change is operating from an attractive place, an attraction marketing space of attracting by understanding your brand values, standing for something, being polarizing, meaning you don't have to stand against something. You can. That is also polarizing, but standing for something in your niche, really standing for something. I like to say I zig when everyone else is zagging. Mm-hmm. And also finding your unique, like if I were to put you on a magazine cover, what are people going to remember you for? Like people know that I have purple hair. Obviously they know that I say fuck a lot. They know that I'm a cat mom and I love my kids. So like, they equate all these things to me. So when they see something purple in the store, they're like, oh, it reminds me of the Slay Coach. They're thinking about me all the time.
That happened with me.
Time. Right?
Yeah, because
that's why you have the following you have.
You know, for sure. I remember, and I don't know if I said it in the group or if I messaged you this, but someone had the purple that you use. And I'm like, wait a minute, I just forgot. She doesn't have a trademark copy or whatever it's called for that color purple. But I just associate that purple. You're like, why is she using Jamie's purple? Like I really said that to myself. I was like, yeah. But it's true.
So funny though. But like when I started, oh God, I had this like, and attracting is your attraction values, your values usually don't shift unless you go through a radical transformation. Your values stay pretty similar. Like I went through a radical transformation. And so our brand values used to be very much built on wealth and, it was still wealth and freedom, but family wasn't up there very high. And that's, like I hate admitting that, but like I have to be radically honest and authentic is that I was prioritizing my ego and I wasn't prioritizing my family. And so when the pandemic hit and we pivoted to more passive streams of income and dropped half our product suite off to be able to focus on really doing a great job for more people, then everything shifted. We shifted our value statement. We shifted what we stand for. My interests shift even. Hell, now I just want to go out and be in nature all the time. You know what I mean? Like I just want to go out and like be at the lake with my kids, be on a boat, like go paddle boarding. I want to be at the beach. I want to travel with my kids. Like we bought an RV today. So like everything changes. So it's not that like TikTok's going to be new or Instagram's is going to be new and it's going to change. Yes, you will have to learn some marketing tactic. Like your message and what you stand for should stay consistent unless you're like me and you go through like a radical aha moment. But the understanding the basics of attraction marketing and building out your values, your value statements, your value proposition, what you teach and what you stand for in teaching or how you deliver value to the world and why it's different, differentiating yourself from others in your market. Super, super important. And it's fundamental basics that it's been taught in business since capitalism was invented. So like I just break it down in a way that is for the modern woman and not like some old white dude and a professor at a university.
Wearing a dusty brown suit.
That ain't never ran a business before, that knows nothing of like this, knows no real life business experience.
No, for sure. And so, yeah, gosh, I just lost my train of thought. Get Your Shift Together begins this Monday, July 26th, and it carries on until Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, wrapping up on the 29th. So the link is in the description for this episode. It's free. Make sure you sign up. Do not pass up on this.
This won't happen again until next year. So day 4, we're walking through the scalable systems. Like what do you actually need to hire out? Like, what do you need to invest in? How can you save money? Maybe you don't need to hire this out. What does it look like to scale without working more? How can we use our money for good to work for us to grow the nugget? I like to say, growing the nugget. We're putting the money back in. So what I did real hard in the beginning is when I would make a bunch of money, I would put it back in the business, girl. I would put it back in the business. And this is what, like, Amazon wasn't profitable for 15 years. Isn't that crazy? Would you keep going after 15 years of not being profitable? Would you?
If I had the passion, the vision, I mean, I would be scared. I don't, that's hard. So my first instinct is to say no. But if I really truly believed in something, I would figure out who I need to hire. Like, what do I need to do to get there? Like, cause I have this vision. It needs to happen. Who do I need to hire or connect with?
Yep. So it's like, it's crazy when you think about like, sorry, I took that back. I pulled up to quote myself. It was 14 years. 14, not 15. But I was like, let me verify that before I say the wrong thing. But don't quote me on the exact year, but it was years, y'all. Like, and he was working, like Jeff Bezos, people want to make fun of him for his dick rocket right now. Like, I mean.
That's hilarious.
I mean, trickle down my ass. Go fly on your dick rocket. But think about that though. He worked 80 hours a week for like 5 years. So when you believe in something, and people out here, Tia, they want to give up after a year. It's not working. They want to give up after year 2. Y'all, I am in year 6. Year 6. Granted, it'll be 4 years in November of this business. No, 7 years. So July just hit 7 years in online marketing. Girl, I didn't know shit the first year. I was like barely dabbling, but 6 years of actively working an online marketing business. I did 3 years of network marketing, and then it'll be 3.5, almost 4 years ago, I started this brand. We hit 250K our first year. We hit 7 figures the next year. And then just kept going. So it's like, that's not normal. I don't even like telling my financial success because I want people to realize how not normal that is, but also to realize how much I put back into that nugget. Like, you don't want to know my profits that first year. I'll have to pull, because I don't even know them. But I think we tried incessantly, because this is why I say know your numbers. My husband's an accountant, so he teaches in the Fast Track, which is our signature group coaching program. It's called Slay School, the Fast Track, which is where Tia and I met, and Tia is a graduate of that. So I haven't told Tia this. We changed the name. It's Slay School, the Fast Track Business Accelerator. So that is the full title, because the curriculum, you guys, for this year, totally revamped, totally modernized. Not what every other business expert is teaching out there in the online space. This is next level shit. So when I say know your numbers, like, if you are an entrepreneur, you should be out there taking every deduction possible, like knowing your numbers, knowing how much to reinvest back into the business to grow it for what return you're trying to get. How much should you spend on paid advertising? How much should you spend on a team member? What part of your revenue goal should be put back into the business versus what should you put in savings or in another asset? Like, we just bought an Amazon store. So diversifying your income streams. So we teach all of that inside of our program. When I say we, I mean my husband teaches all those number thingies, because I don't do that. No. I am a language and I teach ethical persuasion and branding and sales in marketing. So I teach the fundamentals of business. My husband comes in with all the things I fucking hate and teaches you guys that, but they matter. They do matter. If we're a human being, we have to look at the realities that the man wants his tax bill. You know what I mean? Like, we have to pay those taxes, but we can also help educate you guys on how to pay as little as possible. My husband is an accountant. So yeah, it's just like, business is not easy, and it is not for everyone. It is not for the weak. But God, it's so much more fun. I swear.
It is. Yeah. And so cause yeah, you definitely had a lot of shifts and then you help people with shifts. Like again, even with me, like I am definitely not the same woman from January from a few months ago. And so what are some of the things that you had to debunk with yourself and some of the things that you've seen with the students to help them with the shifts?
I had to debunk for myself that I wasn't qualified in the beginning. Who am I to do this? I don't have enough experience. And if the divine calls you, you are qualified. God doesn't, what is this phrase? God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. So, I think that's a Bible quote. Someone told me a long time ago, but I think the Bible's cool too. I don't have one, but I believe people when they tell me that came from the Bible. But like, I tell everybody, because I used to be such a hater on Christianity when I left the Catholic religion. I went the other way and I was like, fuck that shit. I don't believe. And now I'm like, y'all, the Bible is like the world's first self-help book. We should like not hate on that. So I think spiritual people like to separate themselves from Christianity instead of just like taking nuggets of it that are valuable, you know, like there are valuable things in it. Cause I know a lot of people have a lot of traumas around different types of religion, but each thing has its own message. And so I truly believe that if you are called, you are qualified. That is like my favorite quote in the whole world. And so having that aha moment really got me out of my own fucking way because I was in my own way. I was like, I was holding myself back. And you don't have to wait for a rock bottom moment like I had, which is when our daughter got diagnosed with infantile scoliosis. And I was like, all right, fine. I have to like stop worrying about what other people are going to think of me and finally do this business that I know I'm going to be really good at because I had a lot of experience in this. And so I finally got on my way. I was like, fuck it. I'm going to do it. People are going to judge me. They're going to say I'm not ready. They're going to say you're not qualified to teach that. Who are you to do that? And I'm going to fucking do it anyway. They're going to say it and I'm still going to do it. And it's okay. And I'll be okay. Like haters going to hate. Let them.
Yeah.
It is safe to let people think whatever they want to think about me. That is my affirmation. I am safe and people can think. I can allow people to say whatever they want to say about me. Like we're trying to control. It's force. That is not a vibration of manifestation. Control and force is not sexy. The universe is not going to deliver what you want in your life by trying to control and force everything.
No, yeah, that, you go ahead.
No, that was it. I was just saying, bam, go do it.
Yeah. I thought you said and.
No, bam.
Yeah. And that's so true. And thinking back to even what you said earlier, how you were, going the professional route and the way you looked. And I'm thinking about how I try to make, pink work and, you know, have that aesthetically pleasing IG, you know, setup and things like that. But I wasn't 100% true to myself because deep down inside, I was like, I don't even really care for the color pink like that. Like, I don't mind the muted pinks, but I was just like, well, this is working, right? This is what the industry is saying. And then you came along, you was like, fuck all that shit. Show
zig
up the
when
way
they zag.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
We got to think about this. This analogy, Tia, with the color pink is actually the analogy that I give everyone is if you are staring out at 100 pink elephants, a room of 100 pink elephants, and there's a purple giraffe standing in the middle, what are you going to see first?
The purple giraffe.
I make that joke on myself because I'm tall and lanky and I have really long arms and long legs, and purple hair. So I'm the purple giraffe. Like, you want to blend in with what everyone else is doing. The surefire way to do that is to have the same branding that everyone else has. And a surefire way is to say the same message and teach the same thing and have the same opinion that everyone else is teaching. That is what I'm teaching in the shifts next week. Pave your own fucking road.
And make it purple or
and
whatever
make
your
it purple.
color.
Oh, the purple brick road.
Now that's a city that I would want to go to, the Slay City.
The Slay City. I know, right? And come to the Slay School. We start in August.
Yes, absolutely. And, so second and final question. Cause with the shifts that happen, people are going to hands down come out a different person. There's just no way when you're working with Jamie, you're going to come out the same person. So what were some of the ways that you prepared yourself? Cause I know you have a daily ritual, which I love, with your purple, tea set. So what are some of the ways that you keep yourself at that high vibe frequency where you can continue to grow your business and so forth?
Well, this is actually, I made kind of an Instagram story about this today. I didn't go into super detail. It was just like words, but I was so anti-routine. I'm such a rebel that cause I had such a chip on my shoulder that I always thought I could never be successful because I'm too scatterbrained. I'm too unorganized. I'm too ADD. I'm too inconsistent in life, and I never stick with anything, and that could never be me, right? So we have to change our identity and say, all of those things are not working against me. That is what makes me magic, and that is why I am magical. And we find and work with those things and turn them on their head and make them our strengths. So what I hated about all these fucking personal development books, did I learn a couple of nuggets from each of them? Yes. But half the personal development books out there preach this fucking story, high performance habits. And I'm like, wake up at 9:30 if you want. I don't give a fuck. I don't have a specific morning routine that I do every day. So what shifted there for me was I spent so much time hating on morning routines and being like, I'm never going to be that person that has a morning routine. I decided to create rituals for myself because rituals sounded so much more expansive. And it didn't feel like a morning routine. Morning routine felt like I needed to set an alarm. And the whole fucking point of me starting a business was so I didn't have to set an alarm.
Yes.
No, that's why I did not go to college. I did not go to college because after high school, I was like, fuck this shit. I'm not getting up early again. And I worked at night, so I couldn't do night school. I was like, I'm not getting up early again. I just got done with 12 years of this shit. I am not waking up in the morning. Like, absolutely not. No, thank you. I think my daughter is fucking insane. My daughter is 14 years old, has this most privileged lifestyle. She could be homeschooled, graduate high school in 2 more years online with the school we were in, decided she wants to go back to real school. Now she has 2-a-day practices. She has to be there at 6:30 a.m. for the next 3 months. 5 days a week. No, 6 days a week. At 6:30 a.m. Get the fuck out of here. She chooses that. I'm like, you're crazy. There's no part of me. I don't get it. So y'all, if you are not a morning person, we have to stop allowing society to tell us that's what it takes to be successful and make your own fucking quote unquote routine. Like, also, I don't use the word budget because budget does not feel sexy to me. And I've always been a person that if I wanted something, I was not going to deny myself. So what I would do as a teenager is I would just get like 3 jobs and go work until I had the thing that I desired. And now I don't want to work more, but in order to not work more, I need to have a plan. So we call it our spending plan, or else I'll have to work more to get the things that I want. Or I could just align with a plan that gets me closer to my financial goals, to building digital assets, to having the RV that we just paid cash for today, to putting money into our Roth or our 401k or whatever. Like I have a plan and that feels expansive and exciting. But a budget? Bitch, you put me on a budget, I'm going to punch you. No, not me. No, thank you. I'm not the fucking one. Don't put me on a budget. Don't even say that word in my presence. It's the only dirty word in my house. So
I love it. It's the dirty B word.
So change the same thing with your morning routine. If you don't like the word routine, if it does work for you, oh girl, I'm so lucky because the society is going to tell you you're right. But if society is telling you that you're wrong because you don't have a morning routine, then create a ritual and start it whenever you feel ready to start that. So for me, that looks like my mornings are, I wake up at 9:30 If I had beer the night before or maybe too much weed the night before, it might be 10 o'clock before I roll out of bed. I usually am awake by 9 o'clock and I might just lay there and check in with clients or scroll social media or whatever. But like all those things, like don't look at your phone first thing in the morning, blah, blah, blah. Like,
don't tell me what to do.
Eat me. Don't tell me what to do. I'm going to do the opposite. So you have to find what works for you and evaluate, do I need to stop scrolling as much? Do I need to get up earlier? And that will make me feel accomplished, but don't feel pressured from outside books or gurus or whoever tells it you. Like I just shared a post that says Millionaire Morning Routine. It was like a sponsored post by one of my favorite self-help guru, best-selling author guys. I love him. He's such a good guy. But I saw this ad from him and I blocked out his name, but I was like, no, not you. I hate this. Guess what? I made $1 million and I made more than $1 million and I have no morning routine. So.
And that's why I love you. Like it's such a relief to see the other side of something. When you see so much of this is the way, this is the way, this is the way, but I'm a night out. Like literally my creativity hits the most starting like around 10 o'clock-ish. I will record podcast episodes, create reels and stuff, and then go to bed 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Like, and I'm okay with that. And I'll sleep in a little bit, wake up 10, 11 o'clock. And I do scroll Instagram. I follow a bunch of motivational people and things like that. And I love that. And I like the sound of rituals. I like that. That is so much better than if you don't get up at 4:30 and jog at least 3 miles or a mile and then read a book and then journal. I'm like, ugh. I don't even want to talk in the morning, let alone run.
Right. Well, because what people will do, they'll say, oh, well, I didn't start my morning routine, so I won't do any of it because it's a whole package that comes together. Rituals are individual. And you can take one at a time, take it or leave it. So for me, if I have 4 different rituals that I do in the morning and I don't have time for every one of them for some reason that day because I slept too long or I had a call that was early or whatever, then I still have time for at least one of them. But if I have a morning routine, that feels like a total package deal and then I do none of it. And that's not helping me either, but not doing any self-care in the morning. So rituals, individual, you can like mix them around. It's kind of like a build your own burrito bowl.
No, absolutely. Now, and budget sounds like, why you gotta hold me back? Like I get it, but
no,
yeah,
no budget bitches here. I'm not for me.
So, final question. Any final thoughts? Because we covered a lot, and any final thoughts?
Just show up and make a lot of fucking mistakes. There's going to be posts that nobody fucking likes. There's going to be things that get crickets and no comments. There's going to be a product that no one fucking wants. There's going to be a launch that flops. There's going to be, I've had flop launches. I've had webinars with no one show up. I've had clients mad at me. I have had to say I'm sorry, be willing to say you're sorry, be willing to make it up to people and just keep fucking going. Like the only way to lose, y'all, is to stop. You're going to cross the finish line eventually. Stop looking at how quick other people are getting there. Evaluate, like, this is why I do talk about privilege in the online space. It's not my platform. Like, I don't, talk about it every single day, but like, people are not, none of us are starting at the same starting line, but you're comparing yourself to how far other people are. When, okay, you look at how quickly my business grew, but what you didn't see was the 3 years behind the scenes of doing network marketing where I served people for free. I did not charge anything in my free groups. I ran challenges every single month for 3 years for free and didn't get paid. I mean, I got paid through the network marketing company, but I got paid like $40 per customer, per person once. Like, like I was making good money, like on my team volume and stuff, but like I worked for free for years, for 3 years. And so my starting point was higher than everyone else's when I started this business. And then if someone has a rich husband, if someone is honestly a really like pretty privilege or pretty white girls or the girl with the nice body or, you know what I mean? Like we all have our different starting points.
Right.
Not that you have to get prettier or a better body. You have to learn how to utilize your gifts and skills and what makes you unique. But like we all have different starting points, experience levels. We have different experience levels with social media tools and different size email lists and whatever, like different size followings. Just fucking, you have to look at how far you've come for yourself and where you actually want to go and not how far the competition has come, because you have no idea where they started.
Man, we need to get that transcribed and make that a thesis, because that needs to be part of the rule book. And I don't even like rules, but that needs to be part of it. And so I just want to say, with Get Your Shift Together, again, it starts this Monday, the 26th. What you'll receive are 4 live trainings with Q&A, clarity of knowing exactly what to do to scale your monthly recurring revenue, simple to complete worksheets to lay out your step-by-step plan for your next 6 months of revenue. And it goes without saying, you get access to Jamie. I mean, you know, this is a snippet of her energy, her thought process, the sacred space she creates. Okay. I honestly don't even know how to put it into a couple of words, because the building blocks that happen, really, like, I'm trying to find like an all-encompassing word, and it's just like as many adjectives. But I will say, even with the connections you make, one of the main reasons why how I found Jamie and connected with her was through another person. As Jamie was saying earlier, you know, when your products and who you are really hot, you know, like really good, people will talk about you. And Sam, the Cosmic Witch, who she'd been on the podcast, she was, in one of my summits, she posted that she was getting her hair done like Jamie. And I thought, wow, how cool is that? And who is this Slay Coach? And I checked her out, and I'm like, holy shit, I need to know this woman. So it's just like that. And that was online. I didn't talk to Jamie. I just saw her pictures. I saw someone who was just so tapped into her frequency and what she's doing. And she's a successful entrepreneur too, that she was inspired to get her hair like the Slay Coach. So if that doesn't say anything alone, imagine the business expertise you're going to get from the free program. Just the free program, okay? Well, so I don't, okay.
Regardless of whether you sign up for Slay School, you're going to get a ton of value next week. And that is my goal, to show up and deliver.
And she does it consistently and very well. Thank you so much, Jamie. This was a delight. And I know everyone can take so many nuggets from your amazing words.
Yay, I'm so honored, so grateful to be of service to you and to be on this journey with you. And I love you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. And to everyone, you know I'm sending you lots of love, many blessings. I'm rooting for you, and remember to be kind to yourself. Until next time. Thank you so much for tuning in, Magical One. Let's keep in touch. Join the VIP email list by going to TiaMarieJohnson.com. And as always, I'm sending you lots of love, many blessings. I'm rooting for you. And remember to be kind to yourself. Until next time.